A lot of us want to travel outside Ghana, and when they go outside Ghana, what do? Cleaning. Let me cite this guy. What's the name? Akobu of social media also.
Mr. Happiness.
Mr. Happiness.
Could this be from our educational system? Is it the fault of our graduates not performing enough to prepare for the job market? Or they simply have lack of guidance as to what career is available on the job market? And you and I will tell that when you go to our universities today, it's basically theory instead of practicals. Probably most of the graduates are not for the construction sites. 800,000 new jobs coming up for the citizens of Ghana. Are they not linking what they are studying in schools to what is available at the job market? We saw how a lot of the youth were available for the military recruitment, and unfortunately, we saw this unfortunate incident, which is very, very, very sad. And even that aspect, maybe they are from the business administration, economists, and what have you, and you are expecting them to go to the construction site, definitely is still going to be, we are still going to have unemployment because they are not ready for that particular job that is available. We need to focus more on the technical and then vocational skills. And then with this one, you can be self-employed. If the government is not available to provide more factories and other stuff, you can be self-employed with this.
The 2026 budget statement and economic policy of government is specifically designed to create up to 800,000 new jobs.
We have about 3 new garment factories, which is the processing, the agro-processing plants, the oil palm development, and then the farmer service. The other time when we're talking about the big push in the northern part of Ghana, we heard His Excellency John Dramani Mahama saying that the youth should take advantage of it. And so this could help in a way, like I said earlier on. We have Buzstop Boys who have come out to speak about this so many times.
Planting of flowers and watering them can equally create more than 1 million jobs, and clearly 2 million jobs from just the environment. And those 12 youth could have been alive, and it could be me, it could be your son or your...
I'm sure you watching me too definitely have spotted a problem and have... Youth unemployment rate is currently at 34%. And the big question here is that what could be the problem? What exactly is causing this problem for us to have about 34% of our youth being unemployment? And to answer that question, could this be from our educational system that they are failing our graduates? And on that note, is it the fault of our graduates not performing enough to prepare for the job market? Or they simply have lack of guidance as to what career is available on the job market? Also, in terms of the universities, are they simply emphasizing too much on theory instead of practicals? And you and I will tell that when you go to our universities today, it's basically theory instead of practicals. Basically, you see more of the theory instead of practicals. Or are they not linking what they are studying in schools to what is available at the job market? What exactly is the problem? What exactly is the problem? Now, let's look at what we can do to solve all these problems that I have listed. And I'm sure there's more to it. If we should go on and on, we'll have a lot of problems that we can list that is contributing to this unemployment rate we have currently. Now, before I take you to what we can do to solve this problem that we have, which is about 34% youth unemployment, let's look at what the Ghanaian government has for us in terms of job creation. Recently, at the 2026 budget hearing, Honorable Ato Forson stated this clearly, that the government of Ghana has about 800,000 new jobs coming up for the citizens of Ghana. He repeated again, 800,000 jobs for the citizens of Ghana.
The 2026 budget statement and economic policy of government is specifically designed to create up to 800,000 new jobs. Mr. Speaker, I repeat, the 2026 budget statement and economic policy of government is specifically designed to create up to 800,000 new jobs.
Now, out of the 800,000, about 490,000 will go into the 63 billion road construction under the big push. And so this is simply going to be like the labor helping in the construction sites. And this became a big conversation where we had the minority stating it clearly that instead of this, the government should rather give real jobs to the citizens of Ghana. But if you ask me, this in a way is going to help, to solve the problem a bit. If 490,000 will have jobs to do in a space of 2 years for them to prepare enough to get them the real job, I think it will help in a way. But then again, on the side of agreeing with what the minority had to say in terms of real job is the curriculum mismatch, because 490,000 jobs that is available at the construction site, probably most of the graduates are not for the construction sites. Maybe they are from the business administration, economics, and what have you, and you are expecting them to go to the construction site. Definitely is still going to be, we are still going to have unemployment because they are not ready for that particular job that is available. And so that is where it comes to the part where we say we are asking that the universities should guide our graduates in terms of career, what is available on the job market. They should study what is available so that they can match what is available. Okay, he went on to say that the remaining of the 800,000, which is when you take about 490,000 out, the remaining will go into the 3 new garment factories, which is the agro-processing plants, the oil palm development, and then the pharma service. And then in the agro-processing plants, about 700 to 1,000 and more will come out of the agro-processing plants. And then 250,000 new jobs will be coming from the palm development. And then 1,000 and more will come from the pharma services. And so we are yet to see how the 24-hour economy is going to be like, because even though we've had a little information about it, we are yet to see a grounded format of the 24-hour economy. Now, according to Honorable Ato Forson, the government cannot accommodate all in terms of employment. And so part of it will have to come from the private, also the self-employed, which is the entrepreneurship. They are putting things in place to help them manage that aspect too. So talk of the banks giving out loans in low interest and all that. He has spoken about it. Now, let's look at what we can do. Because even those in the public, most of us, most of the Ghanaians would want to go into the public space. That is why when we heard of the security service, which is the police, the military, the customs, we saw how a lot of the youth were available for the military recruitment. And unfortunately, we saw this unfortunate incident, which is very, very, very sad. And even that aspect, so because the minimum wage is about 21 Ghana cedis. So yeah, it was just increased recently. Previously, it was around 19 point something. And so I think with what we can do to end this unemployment, that is what I'm going to take you through. We need to focus more on the technical and then vocational skills. And then with this one, you can be self-employed. If the government is not available to provide more factories and other stuff, you can be self-employed with this. And then also boost agriculture through modernization. And with this one, if the job market is demanding agriculture, more of agriculture sector, if people, we have graduates doing economics, business administration, data analysts and all that, we can find them in the agriculture sector too, in terms of modernization. And so if we are preparing them in terms of economics, business administration and all that, we should help them, that is what we need to guide them on their career. We should help them focus on the readily available jobs, so that it won't be like they will come and they don't have anything doing. If it is not in the office, they cannot work. They can equally do this on the farm. And so let us guide them properly. It is very, very important. Now, another thing we can also look at is to support small and medium enterprises. And that is what Honorable Attoforsen stated, that this is what they are going to do to support the small and the medium enterprises by getting capital to manage whatever they are doing. Now, another thing is to also expand manufacturing and industrialization. Hopefully, we get to see more of this coming from the government of Ghana. And that is where we have about 3 new garment factories, which is the processing, the agro-processing plants, the oil palm development, and then the farmer service. So we are hoping that it becomes something great, that more of the youth can get something doing in there. And then also promote digital and remote work. That is where I'm saying that's where we go into more of the technical and then the vocational. We can fall under all these things. You don't need to sit for somebody to employ you first before you get yourself doing something. But if you are skillful, you can get a digital or remote work doing. Someone can just call you when it has to do with baking and all those things, manufacturing of furnitures and all those. Someone can just call you, you do it, you deliver. You get my point. And then also to improve the business environment, encourage entrepreneurship. It is very, very important. And I'm so glad that the government of Ghana is encouraging that, especially in the youth and then women, just as Honorable Attoforsen has stated. And then also use of public works to create temporary jobs. That is what I stated in the Big Push project, where Honorable Attoforsen told us that out of the 800,000 jobs that will be created for the citizens of Ghana, 490,000 will go into the Big Push project because it's available. And so they can take advantage of it. And the other time when we're talking about the Big Push in the northern part of Ghana, we heard His Excellency John Dramani Mahama saying that the youth should take advantage of it. And so this could help in a way, like I said earlier on, it will help in a way for the government of Ghana while they prepare for the real job for them. Now, also attract foreign direct investment. And as for this one, we've heard it so many times from His Excellency John Dramani Mahama that Ghana is open for investors. They should come on board so that we can create jobs for the citizens of Ghana. And so hopefully, I'm hoping that all these things, it looks like the government of Ghana has the idea, has a clear idea of what to do to help the citizens of Ghana. And so let's hope that they are able to implement it well. That is the problem, the implementation. And so if the implementation goes on well, hopefully this unemployment rate, if it doesn't go off the system, at least it will drop to a lower rate. You get my point? Mm-hmm. And then also what I would also add up to what we have heard so far is when it comes to this country, we have a problem of sanitation. And with this particular one, we have Buzstop Boys who have come out to speak about this so many times. We have a problem of sanitation, how to keep our surroundings or our cities or our country clean. You know, those that are supposed to do it, we do not have them. And so we can create employment out of this. We have a lot of people traveling out of the country, going to the United States, Canada, UK, to do cleaning jobs.
But in Nipo 12, allegedly, in Airwax Sports Stadium, it could have been you, it could have been me. A lot of us want to travel outside Ghana. And when they go outside Ghana, what do? Cleaning. Let me cite this guy, what's the name? Akobu of social media also.
Mr. Happiness.
Mr. Happiness is a Ghanaian in, is it Netherlands? As a Ghanaian in Netherlands. My brother is literally doing cleaning. Why is he so happy fronting cleaning in Netherlands? Because he's respected for the job and he's being paid very well. That is why I'm saying that our 12 brothers or sisters who died at the Airwax Sports Stadium could have been alive. Because here I am telling you that there are more than 1 million jobs on the streets of Ghana. So let's do a simple calculation here. So you get to see that these are not just figures, but they are realities on the ground that can save our future and save our youth. So yeah, allow me to do this simple calculation with you. So assuming that we have 25,000 road network in the whole country, multiply 25,000 by 5. So what we are doing basically is that we are multiplying just 25,000 road network in Ghana by 5 youths. If, for example, we give every kilometer to 5 youths as part of employment or job creation, so how much do you have?
125,000.
We have 125,000 jobs for young people. With this, we could have saved our sisters and our brothers whom in the name of military recruitment and unemployment and hardship and all of the pressure we are going through as young people, in the same spirit, you know that we have more than 1 million road networks in Ghana. So multiply 1 million road networks by 5. And I'm sure it's a cool 5 million jobs for young people. Maybe you guys are thinking about finances. Let me give you this simple idea. This place can be transformed into one of the cleanest places in Ghana. And when that is done, automatically companies will want to do art. So when somebody puts adverts anywhere around here, the person pays a dime or pays a cedi at the end of the month or at the end of the year. And these revenues can easily pay the same volunteers who have been, employed to take every 1 kilometer, 5 youths in terms of job creation. Equally, greening, planting of flowers and watering them can equally create more than 1 million jobs and clearly 2 million jobs from just the environment. And those 12 youths could have been alive, and it could be me, it could be your son or your.
So if there's a proper way of putting out these cleaning jobs here in Ghana, I think 1 will create jobs, and then 2 will keep our country to clean. That sanitation problem will be solved. And so this is my point. I can add up to the solutions that we can put in place to solve this unemployment in Ghana. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm sure you watching me to definitely have spotted a problem and have you have a solution to it. Drop it in the comment section. Let us all deliberate on it to have that better Ghana that we all need. We can do it, and we all have to be involved to make this better for all of us. Don't forget, the name still remains Naa here on Naa Lartey TV, and like I always say, we are clacking it together. We clack it, yeah, we clack it, and I'll see you in our next video. Bye bye.